Hi, I'm Al in SoCal, and I'm reviewing the Toucans Pro Matte White over-ear professional wired DJ headphones. First of all, let me introduce you to the headphones, and I'm going to use what I am now calling the unofficial storage box because it was quite impressive when I got the headphones and drilled down to take a look at them. You can see how they're stored. They they look to be quite princely. They look very nice, and I will keep this container as my storage. Very impressive setup. Of course, that doesn't really speak to the performance of the product. So I've taken them out. You'll notice that there is a marking for which is your left and right headphone. So this is the way they're worn. And I'm just going to open them up a little bit. They somewhat block as an over the ear, not an on the ear. They do block some outside noise, but quite honestly, they're not. They don't do that good of a job. Let me just deal point by point. First of all, the price of the item, $45. So you saw the storage box. These are the headphones. The headphones had a respectable instruction pamphlet here. I still needed to use my reading glasses to read it. You get a most necessary cable. This is a TRS mini plug. It goes into the headset on this side. And if you're going to a source device in this case, which for me was my cell phone, this is the TRRS, and I'm plugging it into the cell phone. And that's in fact my source of audio. That's how I tested these headsets. I was switching from the headset, the wired-in headset, and then just very briefly show you I've got these were the headsets that I tested against. They are a wireless, a Bluetooth headset. They're sort of at the low end of the $80 typical wireless sets, but very, very nice quality. So I used those to test these. And now to go through some of my notes quickly. Again, pricing. $45 for these headsets. I did see on the vendor page a reference to some other product, and the key word that I noticed, the one big feature on these, was the neodymium drivers. I wasn't familiar with that term. Regardless, searching under that name, I found very, very similar product. And that's where I found pricing that went as low as $35 up to $55. And again, these are at $45, so it's sort of right in the middle. And I will say that I consider these to be the $30 to $50 range of wired headsets. Regardless of the fact that they're called professional, I didn't feel they were. I didn't even think they were prosumer. However, continuing on, when I got these, and in fact you'll notice, and it's been commented by others, the ear cushions were a bit crushed in the storage box, and this area here is still a bit depressed. It hasn't recovered. Now I'm wondering if it was the way they stitch it. Possibly if they stitched it and pulled in fabric and pulled down, that could be the reason for this, not that it was crushed. That would be more of a concern than the fact that it was crushed a bit. But seems I can pull up on it. Maybe if I applied heat, I could relax this area. But it does sort of look like in here they stitched in a bit more than up here, so it's been pulled in. On the other headset, I see the same thing down at the bottom. Maybe it's just, yeah, it looks like a little tighter stitching here than up at the top, and it's occurring on both sides. That's going to be a quality issue, in my opinion. So you've just discovered right now, as I did, what I guess is a quality issue in the way that the headset cushion was stitched. Again, I used my cell phone to compare this against my other headsets, which I use almost daily. Here's what I found. Crushed, ear cushion, you know about that. The headphones were missing a clean base. Yes, there's bass, but it wasn't clean. These tend to be on the treble side, and lacking a good clean bass, my opinion was that with a weak lower end, lower frequencies being a bit attenuated, I didn't get a really homogenized audio. I didn't get a really nice blend of my bass and my treble. All of it should have been clean, crisp, but what I did hear in the bass just didn't sound right. Treble was too strong. So there was, unless I'd go into my device and adjust it, I would have appreciated a default audio source, which I had, being heard evenly, the highs and the lows. So that was really, that's my main issue about the quality of the headset. The way I tested them, again, I compared this headset to headsets, the ones I showed you briefly. Those actually have a software for setting up user audio. And so that's my base standard for an acceptable headset, regardless of whether it's for DJs or whatever. And granted, these are wired, the others are wireless, but we're talking audio quality. My summary opinion is for $45, it's somewhat in line with what I saw on Amazon, but I just keep thinking for the 45 plus another 25, one could have my wireless headsets. Granted, it's not for DJ use, but that's what was going through my mind. If I were a DJ, I wouldn't be picking this as my working tool headset. I'd want to look for a true prosumer or professional headset that would really give me proper audio. That's my opinion, and that'll be reflected in my review number of stars.